client of mine recently recommended that I make a guided meditation video. And to be honest, I found this highly amusing. That first of all, anyone thinks that I'm any sort of meditation expert. And secondly, that anyone would want to listen to my voice while they try to get their Zen on. However, that being said, I have made personalized meditative messages for clients in the past, and it's worked really well with dealing with specific problems. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility. So watch this space. However, I did think that it was a great opportunity to talk a little bit about my own meditative journey and experience. And I suppose just to highlight again, I am far from an expert. I'm very much a novice, and I am quite eclectic. I tend to pick and choose what it is that I feel will work for me, as opposed to adhering to any particular doctrine or discipline. And that's just the way I do things, and whether or not that is the right way to go about things, God knows. I often think that if I spent half as much time meditating as I do reading about meditation, I would be so zen, but that's another story. But basically, I kind of run in cycles of 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how something is working for me. So I might use a chant for 6 weeks, and then I might move on to just trying to clear the mind completely for 6 weeks. And then I might, try to focus on bodily sensations, or what it feels like to be in my body. And that can be bizarre. You can actually end up nearly hearing your own heartbeat. It's really, really cool. Or sometimes I'll focus on one of my senses, such as the auditory side of things. What can I hear? What can I really zoom in on once I move away from the flurry of thoughts going through your mind? And as I said, it is a beautiful thing. I usually do about 15 minutes every morning without fail, and that is something I adhere to very consistently. My evening meditation then is normally about 5 to 10, usually because I'm fuck tired, but again, it depends on what my evening looks like, how busy it is. So it's not something I'm going to beat myself up on if I don't actually get to it. I go into my meditation very open-minded. I think if you go in with the assumption that something is going to change in your life, or your life is going to be better all of a sudden, then you're going to be a long time waiting, or you're going to get pissed off with it fairly quickly. The reality is, it's like flossing your teeth. Not a whole lot of crack, but it's something that benefits you in the long run. And even though I say it's not a whole lot of crack, I actually really look forward to that bit of time every morning, because it is just mine, and it's just a time when I'm silent. And the more I do it, the better I feel about it. And some mornings it's horrible. Some mornings every minute feels like a fucking hour. And then other mornings it just flies, and it's beautiful. But it's just such a nice start to the day. And as I said, I don't know if it benefits me or not, but I certainly have faith that it does. And consequently, I think when you believe something is making a change in your life, when you believe something is giving you the capacity to create that little bit more space between what happens in your day-to-day life and how you respond, or how quickly you respond, or what way you respond, or it gives you that little bit more insight and awareness. It allows you to slow things down just a little bit. Well, I mean, that's all you can ask for, really. And then afterwards, or sometimes before, I set intentions for the day. I set intentions for love and forgiveness and compassion, and that includes for people who I don't particularly like, as well as the people whom I love. I then, only recently started introducing this concept that I read in a book. I think it was Into the Magic Shop. And it's called the alphabet of the heart. And so starting off with A, you have acceptance, you have accountability, you have autonomy. Then B, you have balance in life. C, you have compassion and creativity and courage and curiosity. D, you have dignity, and that's for you and for every human. Then E, you have equanimity, and that's basically bringing a certain state of calmness to any situation, whether it be good or bad. Then F, you have forgiveness, you have fun, and that's about not carrying your anger with you all day long. G, you have gratitude, to just be thankful for what is. Now that doesn't mean that you have everything that you want, or you need to go around the place all day long saying, oh my God, I'm so grateful for everything. It's basically just recognizing the good things in your life and learning to pay attention to them. H is humility, recognizing that a lot of the time you're wrong and a lot of the time you're ego driven, but it's also having a sense of humor. I is integrity. It's basically living a life that you adhere to your values, you know what your values are, and you live by them to the best of your ability. Then J is justice. Justice for yourself, justice for every human being, justice for the more vulnerable in life. K is kindness, and then L, of course, is love. So living life with an open heart. And as I said, they're just kind of, I do read through the alphabet in the morning and I just go over those words and I try to reflect them in everything that I do. And sometimes I fail miserably. I mean, it's a great intention to have, but I think even just by drawing attention to these things in the morning and setting that intention, that there's more of a likelihood that you're going to reflect these things throughout your day, and at least you have the ambition to, and at least it's kind of how you start into things. So if everything goes downhill, at least you give yourself that start. And it's not going to work immediately. I mean, these things don't. It takes time, it takes practice. You don't go to the gym and suddenly kind of lift 150 kilo. Building up these spiritual practices, building up your ability to meditate, building up your ability to tolerate your emotions, your thoughts, the unfairness of life, find acceptance, find equanimity, find, a bit more purpose and fulfillment in your day-to-day life. It's not instant gratification, and I mean, that's what we've become accustomed to, whereas this is a slow practice. But it is so worthwhile, because I mean, what else do you have at the end of the day bar kindness and love and compassion and forgiveness? I mean, otherwise you walk around the place all day filled with anger and hatred and bitterness and fear. So that's all I have to say today. Again, if you'd like to work with me on a one-to-one basis, get in touch with me on the website. It's fundamentals.ie.